Can you all, I can hear me. All right. Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here today to celebrate the induction of our new members into the Alpha Alpha Honor Society, and to recognize the academic achievements of first-generation students, or college students. We are the co-advisors of this chapter, James Blankenship, Nola Gum, and both of us were first-generation college students within our families.
Please join me today in welcoming the President of Concord University, Dr. Kender Bogus, who will accept the charter and offer some brief remarks to us today. Dr. Bogus, on behalf of the Alpha 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 chapter organization established this day at Concord University, we present to you the new Ada chapter of Concord University's Alpha Alpha Alpha.
On behalf of Concord University, I am truly honored to accept this charter and support the establishment of the new Ada chapter of Alpha Alpha Alpha. This organization exemplifies a dedication to fostering academic excellence, inclusion, and opportunity, values that we hold dear at Concord. Today marks an exciting milestone, and I commend all who've worked to make this possible. I have every confidence that the chapter will inspire positive change on our campus and beyond. Congratulations to all of you as you begin this meaningful journey, and thank you for choosing Concord University as part of this legacy.
Thank you so much, President Bogus. And now please join me in welcoming our guest speaker for this ceremony today, Mrs. Christy Laxton. Christy is a first-generation student, a Concord alumnus, as well as the Executive Director of the Wyoming County Economic Development Authority. Thank you all for having me this evening. It's an honor to be invited to be here to speak to you all as first-generation college students, graduates, faculty, and staff. It is an honor to see some of the folks that I see familiar faces in the crowd, so it's good to see you all. And it is an extreme honor to be on the stage with President Bogus. Dr. Bogus was a huge impact on me here at Concord when I was here. And just to see her and know what impact she had on my life just gets me emotional. So I just want to say that Dr. Bogus, I really, the impact she had on my life was tremendous. With that, we all, we start our life with a blank page. We all do. And the choices that we make determine where we go in the future. And those stories, I call them resumes because I'm a business major, those stories are what make us who we are and what decide how we move on in the future and what we do in the future and what we've done throughout our life. We all come from different backgrounds, we all come from different circumstances, and for you to be here as a first-generation college student and graduate means that you overcame those boundaries and those circumstances and those challenges. So I'm going to just share a little bit of the challenges and circumstances that I overcame to become a graduate of Concord University, well then Concord College. I'm a little old now. And just to try to inspire you all that nothing, as long as you put your mind to it, nothing can hold you back. And so it seems like that I've been fighting from birth. Not that I had a terrible birth or that I was born in a terrible situation, but I have a twin brother. So anybody else in here twin? Anybody a twin? Oh, okay. So, having a twin brother means that I had to fight for everything. It didn't matter what was going on in my life. I had to fight for everything. And I tell everybody that we were born natural. My mom had us natural. I was 25 minutes, he was 25 minutes older than me, so I always tell him he's older. And I tell him that I kicked him out. I was born feet first, so I tell him I kicked him out and enjoyed some time while I was in there to myself. And that's the only time I've ever had by myself. So I feel like that I have just, from the beginning, had to fight for everything. We grew up in a very rural community that some of you all in this room know because you're from there. And we had a rough childhood. We were very poor. There were times that we would go to bed at night crying because we were hungry. We didn't have utilities sometimes. We didn't have a vehicle sometimes. And at one point, we were living with my grandma because we didn't have a home. So that stereotype kind of sticks with people. As you move on, people look at you and feel like that's just how you want to be the rest of your life. And I knew early on that that's not how I wanted my life to be. And I knew that I wanted to go to college. I knew that I wanted to do better. I knew when I had kids, I wanted to be able to provide a better life for them. So the first thing that we did to try to break away from the home life, which was not only just poor, but there was abuse in the home as well by my dad. And I'm sure that maybe some of you in the room have experienced these same situations. But I can tell you, those things do not stop you from becoming who you want to be. You can overcome. You can be a champion. And that's what I want to instill in everybody here today, that no matter what you go through, you can overcome it. And so the first thing was sports. Anybody here like sports? Okay, I see some hands raising now. We love sports, and my brother and I were very competitive. So we played baseball from the time we were 5, and the baseball field was our safe haven. It was our place away from home. It was our place to have fun with our friends. We didn't have to pay for anything. It was Little League, and back then, Little League paid for your helmets, your bats, and everything. You didn't have to buy all that stuff like you do now, but they paid for everything. I had to have a glove, which I actually got, somebody gave me. So we didn't have to buy it because we couldn't afford it. So that place was our safe haven. We went to the ball field and we had games, and that's what we did. We went there for that safe haven. So as we got older, we realized that things still weren't going great with the home life. We still were having trouble paying bills. We were still having trouble finding clothes. We'd wear the same clothes to school every now and then. And I don't know, I was called the four-eyed freckle face. So I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced that, but I was called the four-eyed freckled face, and now I wear contacts. I still have lots of freckles, but I do have my contacts. I still can't see anything. But you overcome those things, and those things inspire you to do better, to be better. You don't want to stay in that for the rest of your life. So at 14, at the age of 14, my mom signed a paper for me to go to work. I had worked a tax-paying job every day since I was 14 years old. It was a little hot dog stand. It had hot dogs and ice cream. And if you're from Wyoming County, it's where the old Subway used to be. And I started working there when I was 14. And then things didn't get any better. I used my paycheck to help pay the bills at home. We didn't have a car a lot of times, so there was times when we had a car, but you could see through the floorboard to the road. And I knew that to get a better life, I was going to have to work for that. It wasn't going to be given to me. I had to work for that. And you have to have the tenacity to go after something if that's what you truly want. No matter what your challenges are, you have to overcome those. And I am telling you today that it is possible. My mom and dad divorced when I was 16. Like I said, he was very abusive. And the last time he hit me finally broke the straw. So they divorced, and it was not easy. So if anybody's went through that, it's not easy to have parents that are divorced and have restraining orders and then not follow restraining orders. But you keep going, you keep moving, you keep trying to make your life better. And so we went through that, and then I was still working. I was going to school. I did still play sports. I worked around my sports. I would work in the evening after practice. I work on the weekends. And after they divorced, I started working 3 part-time jobs in addition to doing sports and school, where I was taking 8 AP classes through Concord College and making straight A's because I was determined. I knew that if I didn't do those things, there is no way that I would ever overcome what I had gone through in my childhood. So I graduated high school with 24 college credit hours, all straight A's, one of the top in the class, and that was a huge achievement for me. I felt like this is great achievement, but I knew that I had to go on and do better. And my goal was to be a first generation college graduate. And so I applied for every scholarship you could think of. I even got the Burger King scholarship. Did anybody here know there's a Burger King scholarship? I got the Burger King scholarship. So there are ways to overcome it. I got a full ride scholarship to Concord University, Concord College. I have to call it Concord University, I've always called it Concord College. A full ride scholarship between all of the scholarships that I applied for, my academic scholarships, and I also played softball here at Concord. And I loved it. So we came to Concord, and I wanted to go to Concord because it was close to home. It was close to my family. I still had a very close relationship with my mom and my two brothers, my twin and my younger brother. And so we had a great relationship, and I didn't want to go far from home. I wanted to make sure that, I was close to them. I also had a boyfriend who I had had for a very long time, who I'm now married to. We've been together for 29 years as of April the 8th. And so I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to go far from home. So this was perfect for me. It had the degree that I was looking for. It was close enough to home for me to do what I needed to do to come here. And so my focus was to just graduate, right? I wanted to do the best, but I wanted to graduate and be a first generation college graduate. So then life starts happening in college. I get a job at Texas Steakhouse. I'm doing Texas Steakhouse. I'm doing at least 18 hours college credit. I'm playing softball. I'm doing all of these things. And the first year was wonderful. I had a triple in Wilson Hall. So it was wonderful, a great experience. And all of us were friends, so it was good. We all played softball together. And after that first year, I decided that life probably needed to take a little bit of change. And I did not come back and play softball. And we decided to get married, my now husband and I. We had been together for over 5 years. We'd been together since I was 14. And so we decided to get married. So my sophomore year of college, I got married. I also got my first B. I was so upset. What is happening here? Why did I get a B? But I was very busy trying to plan a wedding. We had a very small wedding locally. My husband and I paid for every bit of it. When I was in high school, I never went to ball games or anything because I was always working on Friday nights. So you didn't go to the football games, didn't go to the other games unless it was my game. And of course, I was there for my game. But I wasn't able to go to other things. And so we got married in November of my sophomore year, and I commuted. So I commuted for 3 years to Concord, 4 days a week from Wyoming County, across Herndon Mountain, if anybody knows where that's at. And so coming up here today, and this isn't my first time back to the campus, I've been here numerous times since I graduated, but I can drive that road if I was asleep probably from driving it so much. But it just brings back so many wonderful memories of my college days here at Concord. And even though I was a commuter, it still was a wonderful experience being here at Concord. And so then life happens again. My junior year of college, I am pregnant. So I started working my sophomore year of college at the Wyoming County EDA. I was 19 years old. Somebody called me and said, "Are you going to Concord for accounting and finance?" And I'm like, "Yes." And they said, "Well, we need somebody to help us out over at the Economic Development Authority." And I'm like, "What is that?" So he told me they were doing some loan programs. We had had a terrible flood in 2001. And so they got loans. They got some funding to do some loans for the small businesses. And they needed somebody to help run that program. So they hired me. And I was 19, still in college, traveling here, married. And I'll just tell you a little bit of story, back up just a second, whenever I got married. I was here at Concord and I had class here on campus 3 days a week, and in Athens and 1 day in Beckley. And I would drive up here I would go to work on Monday morning, and then I would drive to Concord on Monday afternoon, and then I'd stay here for a couple of hours and then drive back to Beckley and have class in Beckley because they had a campus there. And so I wouldn't get home till 10 o'clock at night. And I did that for several years, even whenever I had the baby. But back to whenever I got married, I was taking those classes. I had my last class at Concord on Friday. We got married on Saturday, had a honeymoon at the Country Inns and Suites. Guys, who doesn't love the Country Inns and Suites, right? So had our honeymoon for one night, and then came back to class on Monday, and I started my new job at the EDA on Tuesday after I got married. So my life has always just been this whirlwind of things happening, but they've always been amazing and a blessing. So my junior year, I was pregnant. I'm still coming to Concord. Most professors were wonderful about it. Some professors were asking me if I wanted to go bungee jumping upside down so the baby would come out quicker, literally. But it was a great experience. Everybody embraced everything that was going on. Nobody treated me any different here at Concord because I was pregnant, and it was a great experience. So I have the baby, and then I continued coming to college. I'm continuing to work at the EDA, and I graduate in 2004. But the February of 2004, before I graduated, I did one thing that is, I think, more important than anything else, and I gave my heart to the Lord. And I'm not going to preach to you. I'm definitely not going to sing or everybody will leave. But I will tell you that if you need to talk to anyone about Jesus, come to me. I'll be happy to do that. It was the best decision of my entire life. And I graduated in 2004. My son was 15 months old when I graduated. And that year I also got a promotion at work to be the assistant executive director. And then at the age of 23, when my second child was 3 months old, I became the executive director of the Wyoming County EDA. And that job has been so important to me because as we were growing up, as we had these life events and struggles, there was always someone in the community coming to our rescue. Whether it be a church bringing food at Thanksgiving, or somebody buying us hot dogs at the concession stand for baseball games, my community gave to me, and I wanted to give back to them. And this job gave me that opportunity. It gave me the opportunity to not only give back to my community, but to also give back to my region and my state. So I'm encouraging you all today that are students that are still trying to figure out what you're going to do in life, to just think about what's important to you, who is important to you, what will make your life feel like that you've fulfilled something. It's not just a job that you're looking for, okay? It is something that you will be happy in. Because if you're not happy in that job, then it's not worth having. You'll never be successful. And so now, I'm on 22 boards now and committees across the state of West Virginia. So I give back to my community who made me who I am today. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be standing here. So I want to give back to them. I want to give back to the state. I want to give back to the region and those folks that helped me out so much. And so I feel like that I'm able to do that at my job. And I also encourage my kids to give back to the community. My daughters, I'm getting ready to donate to Locks of Love again. I've done it now, I think, 10 times. We do it about every 2 years. My daughters have also done that numerous times. And my oldest daughter, who's at WVU, boo, sorry. She loves it there though, but I really try to encourage her to come to Concord. But she actually received the Citizenship Award in high school. And that is really important for you to give back. Volunteer in your community. Do something good. If you're kind to other people, they will be kind to you. And that's what I encourage you to do. And so we have worked hard as a family, to make sure that we instill that in our kids, that I still continue to give back to the community that I grew up in, that made me the person that I am today. And I look to you all as first-generation college students and graduates, faculty, alumni, and staff, and just tell you that no matter where you are in your life, and no matter what circumstances and obstacles that you've had to overcome, you can be successful. You can continue on and be who you want to be, who you dream to be. I always, my whole life, everybody told me, you'll never go anywhere. You'll never do anything. You'll never be anything, because I didn't have anything. So because I didn't have anything, that was the stereotype that was given to me. And I didn't go anywhere. I stayed in Miami County. But I have overcome all of those obstacles and have done so much to make things better for myself, better for my family, and better for my community. And a lot of that is owed to not only the life that I was brought up into, but this wonderful campus here at Concord University. So I'm thankful to be here. I encourage you all to just never slow down, never stop, never let anything burden you from achieving your goals and dreams in life. So thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Christy. That was a beautiful story, and I think there's so many things in that that kind of resonate with all of us. And now we will continue with our induction ceremony today.
So when it comes to the history and the principles of Alpha Alpha Alpha, the logo, or the key, includes the number 2018, the year in which Alpha Alpha Alpha, or Tri-Alpha for short, was founded. The logo is a star in the center of several circles, indicating the various communities in which you are a part. The community of Concord University, the community of Athens, West Virginia, the community of the wider region and the wider world. The star represents you as a star in your family, lighting the way for others to follow your lead into higher education. Just as the stars in heaven above have guided mariners and travelers in days of old. Remember that you are this beacon of light to someone else, and that you have a responsibility to lead others to that light.
The pin which you will receive today as part of your induction ceremony includes this logo, as well as the words First Gen, so that everyone who sees you wearing this pin will recognize the importance of this journey for you. The cords which you will receive at graduation are blue and gray. You can see them here on the stage. Using the colors of the Moravian College, where this society was founded. These colors are intertwined to demonstrate the connection we all have to one another as First Gen students and graduates.
So with that, we will now begin the initiation pledge. So would those who are to be inducted into society today please stand? Being first can be hard. Being first can be scary. Being first can be exciting. As a part of the first generation in your family to go to college, you are a source of pride and guidance to others. By accepting membership into Tri-Alpha Honor Society, you recognize your responsibility to your family and to your future generations of firsts. To finish what you started, to be their compass leading them to their destination when the way seems uncertain. To be their light in darkness, and to support others in their own journeys of firsts. By accepting membership into the Tri-Alpha Honor Society, you accept the obligation of thanking those who paved the way before you, and who made this journey possible for you. By accepting membership into Tri-Alpha Honor Society, you accept the responsibility of helping others as you have been helped, or as you perhaps wish to have been helped. To serve as mentors and guides for the next group of students to set foot on a college campus, as the first in their family or circle of friends. By accepting membership into the Tri-Alpha Honor Society, you have an obligation to take pride in your achievements and to share your story, so that others learn your accomplishments and can share in the joy of your successes. If you accept these responsibilities, please respond with, I do.
I do. Please be seated. Now we're going to begin our induction, and so as your name is read, I'm going to ask that you come forward to receive your pin and sign our register here on the stage. We ask that the audience do hold their applause until all student names have been read, because we do want to get home by dinner time. Inductees, please come up from the left side, sign and receive your pin, and exit over here, and then you can go back to your seat, okay? So first, I'd like for all of our undergraduate students to go ahead and stand up. Our first inductee is Rachel Adams, Taylor Albers, Kaylee Bain, Morgan Billings, Paula Blankenship, Sierra Blankenship, Kristen Bodkin, Emily Cook, Abigail Day, Destiny Dickens, Brianna Dickens, Faith Diggs, Jenna Dillon, Megan Dobbs, Brandy Farmer, Sarah Ferguson, Emma Gill, Kelsey Grosclose, Jennifer Hernandez, Trinity Keith, Kylie Lovejoy, Caitlin Mars, Grace Matherly, Maggie McAllister, Amanda McCrory, Corey Osborne, Emma Oxley, Lily Palmer, Christopher Persinger, Chloe Reed, Kala Runyon, Isaac Schaefer, Louisa Stout, Brian Strickler, Tristan Trainer, Carly Wimmer, We're blessed with a large group of undergraduate inductees this year. All right, let's have our graduate inductees please stand now. And I will call your name the same way. Enter this side and exit over there. Our first inductee of our graduate students is Carrie Collins. Tabitha Kahn. Kisney Cox. Brianna Garcia. Damian Glasser. Amanda Green. Christy Grubb. Bettina Hightower. Jeremy Hughes. Josh Kimball. Kayla Meadows. Angela Myers. Allison Overstreet.
That will be our graduates as well. From there, we'll be moving on to the Concord University faculty and staff. So if you please stand and proceed as previous. Our first will be Kathy Ball. She is with the Bonner Scholar Program Director. Next, James Blankenship, Career Services. Anita Deck, Associate Professor of Education. Tiffany Everett, Instructor in Social Work. Danita Farley, Assistant Professor of Nursing. Daniel Fitzpatrick, Vice President of Operations, COO, CHRO. A little faster. We'll be moving on to Lucinda Gondaman, Operations Coordinator. Nola Gum, Assistant Professor of Social Work. Anna Hardy, Chief Student Affairs Officer and Dean of Students. Edward Hofstetler, Provost and VP for Academic Affairs. Tricia King, Director of Student Support Services. Stephen Q, Associate Professor of Geology. Stacy Blinkus, Assistant Professor of PA Studies. Sharon Manzo, Office Assistant. Katrina Madney, Professor, Program Specialist. Lisa Miller, Fiscal Officer. James Onston, Online Instructional Design Coach. Anthony Patricia, Associate Professor of English. Amanda Phillips, Associate Professor of Social Work. Terry H. Philpott, Assistant Professor of Social Work. Eliza Hug, Upward Bound Educational Outreach Counselor. Gabriel Rieger, Professor of English. Heather Shepard, Assistant Professor of Chemistry. Andrea Sullivan, Upward Bound Director. Susan Williams, Distinguished Professor of Marketing. Darla Wise, Professor of Biology. Laura Woldwine, Executive Assistant to the President. We would also like to thank our alumni members as well, Eddie Atkins and Stosh Kalinski. So each year, chapters of Alpha 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 may invite 1 or 2 honorary members of the society. To be considered honorary members should themselves have been first-generation college students who were graduates of the institution prior to the founding of a campus chapter of Tri Alpha, who serve on the board of that institution, or who are donors or other volunteers at the institution. This year, Alpha 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 is pleased to include in our society the following honorary members. Dr. Kendra Vargas, CU President. Christy Laxton, alumni and honorary member. Executive Director of the Wyoming County Economic Development Board. Kay Bruce Herbart, the Mary Jane Herbart Scholarship co-founder. And Christina Reagan, the CU Aspire Coordinator and Head of First Generation Committee. Let us give all of our inductees the final round of applause. In closing, take a moment to look around you, around your full circle here. You are the star in the middle of someone else's circle, just as you are in the circle surrounding someone else's star. You are all connected here, in this society and in this community. But remember, as Shakespeare once said, it is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. Go forth and live in the light. We thank you all very much for coming today. Congratulations to everybody. Before everybody leaves, if we're able to, we'd love to have a group photo. If everybody who's being inducted today would like to come up, and we'll get a photo real quick, and then.
As we're getting things together for a photo, it's going to take us a minute here. I would like to ask all of our inductees to kind of keep a lookout, because we're going to be reaching out to y'all to kind of delegate some officers for next year. We're pretty excited. We've been talking about some fantastic projects and things we would love to work on as an organization. So we're going to be reaching out to see who's going to be a good fit to be our officers in our new ADA chapter in the upcoming fall term. That's right.
I'm not going to be able to get anybody in these wings here. So it's going to, we're at the live as we can have a safe yeah, that'd be awesome. Put some chairs or something. Sorry. All right, I got y'all in there. Everybody ready? All right, here we go. Gotcha, thank you.